Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Cosmic Lounge. Thank you so much for joining us. Annie's here already. Hello, Annie. Thank you so much for joining us. We've got a very special guest here this evening, or the morning or afternoon, wherever you are in the world, because I know we've got some great friends over the pond who will be joining us, watching in. Annie's on the East Coast, I think, Annie. Great stuff. But we've got a very special guest, which I always enjoy speaking with. I think he's got an amazing mind. He probably, I don't know, I don't want to embarrass him, but personally, I think he's got an absolutely amazing, expansive consciousness. And it's like he brings things out of the ether and it just rolls off his tongue. So I'm really, really excited. BRYAN is BRYAN LAHR, of course, is the host of BRYAN LAHR podcast or show on Sacred Spiral Network with Kelly Brickle, Jennifer Rose, etc. And we swap and change between the shows. So tonight we're going to be looking at Into the Light. BRYAN is also a channel, psychic medium, healer, and very much into telekinetics, which hopefully we're going to be touching on. So I just wanted to ask and say to people, if you are here, if you are watching, please make a comment. Facebook, YouTube, we're going live on different streams. And let us know that you're here. And also, I'm sure if you put some questions, if you've got any questions you'd like to ask, both of us or BRYAN or myself, please put them in the chat and we'll do our best to get through them and see what's what with it all. So without any further ado, I'd like to welcome BRYAN into the space.
How you doing? Thanks for having me. It's a real treat.
Yeah, BRYAN. Yeah, seriously, it's lovely. I can't. Yeah, it's my privilege and honor. Seriously, when I look at you, I think there's so many lifetimes of wisdom and knowledge in front of us, and I think it's. And I really think it's kind of important. Now we've got, social media on the planet, so to speak, to share and let that information rip. So people can, obviously it's a spiritual space. We're trying to improve what's going on the planet. We know we're in a time of great change. And I just think you've got so much wisdom, what people need to listen to and hear. Right, to be honest, and so much more, obviously, but I won't go for the full list. It'll be boring. So, do you want to say he's joining us? Do you want to say hi? Hello to Arnie?
Arnie, what's up, my brother? Always good to see you, man.
BRYAN is a wizard, awesome man, love him. Yeah, me too, Arnie. Arnie, we've got to arrange our show yet. Again, sorry, I haven't been back in touch with you. We're going to hold a round table We're going to hold a round table with Annie. Potentially Jennifer Rose and one or two others, and we're going to talk about how the tables have been tipped. Funny enough, we're going to have a round table about the way the tables have been tipped on the planet. So,
that's already good.
BRYAN, if you will, please tell us a little bit about yourself. Tell people about, a bit of your journey for a couple of minutes or something.
I've been kind of reflecting on that, thinking about, coming on and what I would say, and just what a crazy ride it's been, and to be able to say I've been practicing for 50 years. Like, I don't even think I'm not saying anything. Plus, I've been practicing for 50 years. I love magic. It's been my life for pretty much all of my life, and I love, I kind of use the symbol of a giant diamond, faceted diamond up in the sky, and it's just sort of turning, and like every single facet is beautiful, and I wanted to sample them all and discover that they all end up at the same place. It's so, especially now, it's like the fabric of what we understood as our reality is just collapsing all around us. You know,
Yes.
it just becomes like apparent how absolutely complex, infinitely complex the multi-universes and the astral can be. But in the
Yeah.
end, at the very end of that, it all comes down to like the simplest truth. It's the source. Boom. And there you are, you know, and it's like that journey to discover like all those facets lead right to the same place.
Yeah.
And it's been a really glorious ride. And I I uh I think one of the most outstanding moments in my journey was discovering that telekinetics were actually real, like moving things and like that actually affecting stuff in the physical world with your energy was not a fantasy or a science fiction. It was absolutely real. And I happened to be working, this is the late 80s, and I was working in an advertising agency, kind of a really progressive advertising agency. And the one of the guys that owned it, the creative director, called everybody together, and there's a guest speaker. And I'm sitting around. I was kind of pissed off because I was really busy, and I wasn't up for a guest speaker. I wanted to work. And anyway, she got introduced as a reverend, and I immediately shut off. I wanted nothing to do with religion. And I'm like, okay, enough.
Yeah.
But as she started talking, she was talking about the energy world, and like it was like these bells ringing inside my solar plexus. Boom, listen, boom, boom, boom. And I became rapt. And she was talking about possibilities and how far we could actually go and how little of our potential that we were using at the moment and what those possibilities of being your biggest self could be. So she wraps up and I'm just staring at her and I'm like trying to like figure out like, oh man, how can I learn with this woman? And this was back in the days when there were still ashtrays on the conference room table, right? And there's this metal ashtray sitting in front of me, and I'm about six. She's at the head of the table, and I'm about 6 people back, right? Right in front of me is a metal ashtray, and I see her get really still. Take a nice little deep breath. She reaches out her hand and she pulled that metal ashtray across the table right into her hands. Like I watched it. It was like, and like instantaneously, the wall of what's impossible blew up. Like,
Yeah.
like that changed that was impossible. I just watched it happen. There's no other explanation. You know, there were no magnets or anything. Like she made that happen.
Yeah.
And I kind of went off on that became sort of obsessive for me to find someone to study with. And you know, back in the late 80s, there was no internet, there were no like communities. It was
Correct.
It was you go out and you find
limited.
And maybe you hang out at the occult bookstore, the metaphysical bookstore, and you might run into somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody, you know. And I was a voracious reader, so I was just absorbing anything. So long story short, it took me about 20 years as life happens and divorce and craziness and like all the other stuff that comes up. I never found that person, but I was still looking for that person to teach me. And, you know, I wound up doing a ritual. And very shortly after that, I discovered who that person was. But another, like, you know, the universe shows up and says, well, how bad do you really want it? It took me another 7 years to connect with him. And it was in a really crazy way. It was in one of those modes where it was like the super dark night of the soul. I had just been through a really like soul shredding, hope eating, like, it was terrible. And I was killing myself. I was drinking really heavy. I don't really drink at all, but I was like killing the booze and eating the worst stuff. I blew up to like 400 pounds. And I got very, very sick. I got diabetes, and I wound up going to the doctor, who immediately sent me to the emergency room. I had like blood sugar 720. That's like,
Right.
how was I even walking at that time? And I get a call in the parking lot of the emergency room, and it's the guy that becomes my teacher. And he said, "Dude, how you doing?" And I went, "Not so good, man. I'm about to die." And he's like, "What the hell? Why didn't you call me?" Make a long story short, he made a deal with me. He said, like, "Listen, we'll get you well. You do your part of it. You lose 100 pounds, and I'll teach you an effect. Deal?" And like all of a sudden, hope, like my purpose came back. I thought he was gone, and I was never. And he's the only person I knew of that actually had those skills. And I thought I'd lost my shot at that, and I was just like, oh, it was crushing. And
Right.
and anyway, I lost 160 pounds, and he showed me
Incredible.
that,
Incredible.
and that was all she wrote. It was like, oh my God. And the first one I did, like cracking that first veil of, oh, you can't do this. What are you talking about? This is impossible. Why are you even wasting your time trying to do this? And that that first one, it took me 3 weeks, like out there every night. And he had kind of given me a deadline of 3 weeks. So I was like on the last night. And the effect was just taking a little glass thing and extending a metal rod on it, and with your energy moving the rod around in a circle.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I was charged. I was doing everything like all day long. I was eating all the foods. I was getting charged. I was so overramped. It was ridiculous. And I was filling the rod up to the max. I could even kind of see it glowing. I do all my stuff like late at night, like 12 to 3, when the ocean's as smooth as it's gonna get, you know?
When all becomes still.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, even little static when you're first trying to make those connections, can interfere with that. So anyway, long story short, I'm kind of freaking out. It's like super charged up. I'm about to just call it a night. And this is about 3 o'clock in the morning when the birds are perfectly still. And a bird flew up right next to me on the fence and went cheep, 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 which broke my attention from the rod. I looked over at the bird, and I looked back at the rod, and the rod went and turned a quarter turn. And I went, oh no, I never let go. First big lesson. But like, dude, really, I remember this moment so bad. And I think that's part of why I enjoy teaching people to do this, because when they experience it too, I get to vicariously relive it again. I jumped up straight in the air, man. I was like 10 feet in the air at 3 o'clock in the morning in this quiet neighborhood. I was like, wow! I couldn't believe it. Like, I did it. And it just woke something up, this passion in me. And I've been, and I'm still studying with my teacher. He's just a great friend and brilliant person. And I know his teacher. His teacher's like, wait a minute. Wait, I know you must be an alien, because that's not possible. So that's kind of been the focus, like being the light, as I call it, the energy show, and I've sort of stripped away all of the dogma from all the different disciplines that I've studied over the years, and just boiled it down to the laws of energy. And when you stay in the laws of energy, you can never go wrong, man. They never change. They're always the same. And living in that energy world, energy doesn't judge or extend morals or any of the human constructs. It flows the way it flows. It's looking for the most direct, ergonomic connection to wherever that purpose or intent was. And understanding that and really getting deeply into the whole like frequency aspect, and the fact that what you're thinking about in your mind is creating a frequency that's emanating from you and attracting either like more lessons or more of whatever you're thinking about.
Yeah.
It's the law of energy. Like you send it out and the reflection comes back to you. And just being really like, it takes out having anybody to blame. Like, you know, it's like it's on you, and you know, you reassessing where am I spending my energy? What am I creating in my universe that's creating this scenario? And little by little, step by step, hey, Evelyn, how are you? You know, that's really made a huge difference in my life. And you know, it's kind of and simplified. You know, we talk about that whole complex thing, like that's so simple.
Yeah.
What you send out, you get that. Okay, I can get that. I'm not that bright, but I can get that.
It's not rocket science, that one, is it?
No, right? Yeah.
Amazing. Bryan, thank you. So this is brilliant to just sit and listen to. I'm just going to quickly say hello to Evelyn. Thanks for joining us, Evelyn. Hello, welcome. If anybody else is here, please let us know you're here. Just make a comment in the chat, etc. Listening to Bryan, pure inspiration, Bryan. I wanted to touch, you said obviously a lot of things here, but one of the things I wanted to touch on, which immediately what you stepped into was, the way I perceive it, is that huge crystal of existence, and all the multifaceted aspects of it. And funny enough, we were having a conversation the other day, and it, you know, like it does, there's a moment you go, okay, so we step inside the crystal, we see all these facets, and not only are they reflecting truths back to us, pure truths in my understanding, they're also portals. It's like each facet is a portal somewhere to another realm or dimension. You know, we are the crystal, we're it, multidimensional, multifaceted. And the complexity of the crystal, what appears to be the complexity of it, falls down to that singular point in the center point of that crystal, which is the simplicity.
Well, you know, the point is the light, and all of the other all of those other facets are spectral reflections of the true light.
Yeah.
And they're all like pathways back to that.
Maybe. It's funny, isn't it, listening to this conversation, and it's almost as if so many of the, and I say this respectfully, so many of the detailed aspects of the spiritual path have just dissolved because we're at that single point where you're referring to. You're in that space. And like what you said, it's like with energy, it will just do what it'll take the path of least resistance. It'll do what it does naturally. There's no blame game to be played.
No.
You know, and it's like, okay, if we are energy, let's start behaving like that. Let's start utilizing it, you know, without deeply or overly making it too complex. So it's like, I mean, I love the concept of energy, not the concept, I love the fact that we are energy. And now what I'm really enjoying, and it was similar for me, you know, there was no internet, there was no nothing, you know, you had your awakening, and then for 2 years, I'm wandering around thinking, where does this go then?
Hey, can anybody answer
2 years. Yeah, 2 years. Where does this go then? What do I do with this? You know, what am I supposed to do with it? For 2 years solid, there was no internet. There wasn't even any books on the subject where I live.
Yeah.
You know, they had no, like at that point, at a later point, there was, it was so funny. The first section in the bookstore was self-help when they eventually got to that point. Up to that, there wasn't even self-help section. Then they decided to put a self-help section on. And then so I'm searching in there, hoping to find something, you know, which was a rare case. So thank goodness for the internet, because now we can freely, you know, share it with anybody, you know, at the speed of light and beyond, so to speak.
And all over the world, you know?
Yeah, and now we reached that point now where it's like what we're seeing and hearing is so many people around the world making reference to energy and wavelengths, frequencies, and vibrations. And sometimes, and I know I shouldn't do this, sometimes I think, finally, there's more out there. You know, it's like they're starting to talk about it. They're getting it, you know, and it sounds so disrespectful, but it's not meant in that way. But when you've had a journey where, and you're not looking for support because you're comfortable in your own space, you're comfortable in your own stillness, you're comfortable in your own awareness. But there's a magic in knowing that the world now is waking up. And this great shift and unfoldment, like you say, the reality, all known reality is dissolving. You know, it's just totally collapsing.
Every direction. Like what we thought was, this is truth. What? No.
Yeah. Don't ever claim that one, innit? Is that one? Don't ever claim that one. We're always kind of the purest truth is always unfolding to us. And the telekinetics, when you was telling that story of that part of your life, Brian, it reminded me of the film Phenomenon with John Travolta.
I love that film.
Me too. And I know not a lot of people have seen it, and I think they should see it if they ever get the chance. Because I remember the opening scene where he's looking up into the sky. He's come out of that bar after talking to his friends. Richard Duvall, I think. Robert Duvall, his friend, and he steps out and he looks up and he sees this light, and this light hits him directly, bang. And at that point, I thought, okay, they're trying to kind of create something visually, what I believe was an awakening. And the guy then, he opened up to his psychic energies, his whatever we want to call it, doesn't matter. But what fascinated him, one of the scenes I always remember, was when he was selling everything on the front lawn, and there was things on a table, but there was a pen on the table, and he just moved the pen with his finger without touching it. He was playing, and I'm like, that's it, guys. Everybody, sit up, pay attention. That's where we're at the minute. This is what's coming. That ability and power of the mind and consciousness to control matter in that respect. So, Brian, thank you so much for sharing that.
I think it's already here, and I think a lot of people, and that's kind of the whole point of my show, to be honest with you, to kind of like open people up to those possibilities. Yeah. There's 3 people that have watched the show that are now like spinning the rod, and also I did a materialization where I had a little bottle and brought some salt from the upper room into here, and now the first person that's like gotten that too, and I'm like, yeah, you know, it's like there. It's just people have been so programmed that that's not possible. Yeah. It also takes some shitload of work at the very beginning. It's not,
of course. Yeah.
You know? And I think sometimes people don't like see the value in expending that kind of effort towards something that seems sort of.
I get it, because they'll spend whatever they'll spend on the material objects rather than the mental objects within themselves and the mental capability of it. I love this transition, Brian. I love this transition where the letting go of the materialistic, as we understand materialistic, because matter is a different thing or different subject altogether. But I love this, what's taking place on the planet, where more and more people are letting go of their grasping of the material world.
Absolutely.
And all its glittering, you know, shiny objects.
Such a facade. It's the jail, the bars to the prison, man. It's like, let go. Open the door.
That's right. Yeah. It was never locked. The door was never locked. You just thought it was.
Exactly.
If we can, Arnie's put a couple of bits in, and I think these are quite actually interesting. So, have you felt the shift in the energy over the past week? Each one brings us closer to where we wish to be. Your thoughts, Brian?
Well, you know, I think it was I don't know, late last week, I sent you a message. I said, the energetic ocean's been really high. I've been surfing some big waves. And man, yeah, it's gotten less turbulent, but more intense. And but those waves are like really juicy to ride on. Yeah, there've been a lot of revelations happening for me personally, and just in kind of like little clicks of things, like the last little piece of the puzzle. Oh, okay. And I think that's happening for a lot of people. So,
yeah, good point. I think, Annie, I think it's a brilliant thing. From what I've experienced recently, funny enough, you mentioned the last week, Annie, because prior to that, there was a certain or specific intensity to the wave what was in at that point, and I think there's still a part of it in, but during that period, pre last week, it was very, very intense and overlapping, almost mixed and multi-layered, which is really unusual. And I think what happened, I really believe this, that we encountered a very significant shift. And so I agree totally with what you're saying, Annie, with that, and yourself, right? There was a very significant shift. And so people might say, okay, what sort of shift was it, Colin? If we imagine a complete kind of a measured degree, this is the only way I can describe it, a measured degree of energy pressurized either upon us as individuals or globally as a whole, but definitely upon us as individuals, pressurized energy. And it was consistent for about 4 to 6 weeks, where there was a lot of shifting going on in people, and people was worried and concerned, etc., mental, energetic, emotional, so usual stuff going on. But this one was added compression. And once it started to ease off about a week ago, I realized it was literally, we'd shifted to another level in the ascension process. Previously, we've always had this, what I've always referred to as this slow, gradual ascension. But this one, and the reason why I think it was significant, is because it shifted us a bit further than we would normally be moved to in the ascension. And then light bulb moments are now present. And also what I'm witnessing right now is there's more detailed aspects of what was hidden is now coming into the light, even locally and with ourselves and people around us. It's like there's going to be no stone left unturned at this point, because we have a tendency, don't we? We think, okay, there's a system in play there. They've been hiding things, etc. And now the light is shining, and all is going to be revealed. Well, what I'm witnessing at the moment is some of those revelations are actually closer to home in our local communities with the people what we know and speak with on a regular basis, where they would be of a certain nature and character and personality with some hidden aspects behind them. They're getting revealed, and this is part of the light shining. So we know it's all to do with light. The light of the cosmos is saying, hey guys, bump, you've got no say in this. Somebody, you can cling on to the banks of the river as long as you want. You are going in that water, and you are going to have to learn to swim, in this ocean of the cosmos, so to speak, in all its waves and vibrations. So, Annie, yes, exactly. It was increasing. Then hit a point where we could acclimate to it. Yes, since then I feel a shift for the better. 100%, Annie. That's exactly what I've been feeling. In the last week, it's like something is, I don't want to say the usual, it's lifted, but I think our consciousness has come out of that compression chamber and expanded slightly. But that's when I use the word slightly, that slight is significant compared to what's been going on over, I would say, 30 to 40 years. These waves are getting very interesting. So there's so much more wealth and happiness than there is in material things. Oh, yes.
That's the truth, man.
Evelyn, I'm working on making magic inside my body. it's a process, but it's working. Brian, any
Have
thoughts?
patience, Evelyn. Patience, my darling. Patience. One step at a time. You can't go from the start line to finish overnight. Give yourself a break. Stay on the path and just put one foot in front of the other, and you'll get there, man. Don't rush it.
Yeah.
Don't the expectation of how fast this has to happen for you on it.
Yeah.
Because ultimately, that'll just slow it down. Yeah.
Yeah. Energy itself will start dictating how this. I think this is another thing. What we're seeing, and I wanted to say to Evelyn, hopefully, and you look like you are, Evelyn, enjoying the process, because we know we're in a process, a stage of process, and we've got to enjoy, literally if we can, every step of the process, because the process is in stages. So some of the stages we might find, challenging, but it's like, it's okay. It doesn't matter. It's part of the process. So.
And you know what? Every part of the process is good. It's worth celebrating. It's worth experiencing. It's worth and the revelations and like the learning process. Every part of that is valuable to me. I wouldn't change any of them. Yeah.
Yeah. It's interesting, Brian, because we've got a friend of ours who was a part of Minorca Consciousness Group, Sue Townsend, and she sometimes, if I can capture, she'll come on and have a chat. If I can't, forget it, Colin. Beautiful mind. And she posted something today or yesterday, I'm not quite sure, on one of our other sites, where we're at that point where rather than chasing, I've got to be healed, I've got to heal myself, I've got to meditate more, I've got to be more spiritual, I've got to be more this. And she was describing it as a trap, because it's always in front of us. And what she was trying to explain in the write-up was basically just be.
Just be.
Just be.
That's such a miracle when you actually grok that in fullness. It's like, wow, it sounds so simple. And we've made it so hard. It really is just simple, but the complexity of our inner, it's pretty thick sometimes. But that's all you have. Just let go and be.
Yeah.
Yeah. And don't hold on to permanence, especially right now, man. Things are shifting so fast. There isn't really, I can't think of anything in the physical world that's permanent, even close. And that illusion that we used to have, because things took longer, it's cool, and everything's different. And I, on a personal level, I feel myself having to let go of all the ways I've defined myself, and what's happening, let whatever's blooming bloom, without the expectation of directing it and constructs and programming and making it be with specificity, and no, it's just release, let go, and enjoy the hell out of every moment.
Yeah, brilliant. Yeah, I totally agree, Brian. It is. It's our grasping, and I know it's, for some people, it's part of a Buddhist understanding, but our grasping is the root of our suffering.
Totally.
And it's just get to the point where you don't even need to let go anymore. Just be.
Right.
Because letting go is a stage, and it's because it's showing us we're holding on to something in order to. Funny enough, talking about letting go, it's incredible. Next month I've got a workshop coming up on what we call the letting go process, and it's a unique process or system to let go. What helps to let go of thoughts, emotions, etc. I never like using the word trauma, because I think it's got such negative connotations to it. Sorry, I need to cough.
It's like a sneeze that once you go, hold on, it won't come until you start talking again.
too much cheese on my chest. So it's funny talking about the letting go, and it's getting to that point, isn't it, where in the end it'd be nice to get to the point where we are empty, because in that emptiness there's nothing to let go of.
Well, that's the writing down to blank space every week.
Yeah.
Like really being able to truly be in blank space, in that like zero zone. Like, that's kind of the answer to everything and the doorway to anywhere. And that's where you realize that every reality is happening all at the same moment. And like, okay, let's go travel. Let's change the locale for frequency from here to Alpha Centauri, and like just materialize in Alpha Centauri. Like there's so many things that are happening with the energetic flows and being able to really realize those. Yeah.
Totally. I'm just looking at Evelyn's comment. Let it go, Colin, laughing her head off. She's on about when I was coughing. Thanks for that, Evelyn. Oh.
You know, I noticed that most of my journey has been through like lots of rituals and rules and specificity about how things were done. And I noticed that when it really changed fully into the age of Aquarius, that those methodologies no longer worked for me. And they needed to change and like send out a desire, leave open, like, and leave space, you know, and that's been such a, I've really been observing that and noticed that like tangibly when that happened fully.
Yeah.
And I'm Aquarius, and so like all of Pluto and Aquarius, like, oh man, there's been crazy astrological energies for me over the last 6-8 months. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Interesting, Brian, isn't it? Because I think that it's that convergence of all things to bring about this change. The physical, the planet, the earth, the planets, the universe, the cosmos, whatever energy is, you know, in this space, what we call the whole, is active at this moment, you know, and whatever anybody's drawn to, this is another thing I absolutely love. There's so many minds drawn to so many different frequencies and areas out there. And I mean, all roads lead to Rome. Right. That's what it is. But we're all seeing and sensing the frequencies from that perception within us and that moment in time. I just want to say hello to, I nearly forgot, to Christine Moraes. Hi, Christine Moraes. Thanks for joining us. Do you want to say hello, Brian? Linda Owens joined us.
Hey, Linda.
Hi, Linda. Thanks for joining us. Brenda Askew. Hi, Brenda. Lovely to have you with us. And Crystal Lee, is that Peach or Peachay? Peachay, probably. Thanks for joining us. So if anybody's got any questions, please put them in the chat and we'll take them on board with us. Just wanted to expand this a little bit more, Brian, because we're going in that direction anyway. Onto the cosmic celestial planes, you know, away from away from the physical or the physicality of our understanding of Earth and the planets and the physical world we believe to be true. Go for it, right?
Yeah. Well, you know, the physical world is just such a sliver, and every single frequency that's stacked on top of they're all happening right now, like developing your abilities to travel there, like, and explore those frequencies, you realize like how infinite it actually is. And that's how I entertain myself. I love doing that more than anything. And I've like discovered so many crazy things you've never heard about or read about. Get to find them on your own. It infinitely satisfies my little boy, my curious little boy. He's like,
Yeah.
oh, I want to see something new. You know, and it's always there. And you realize that all of those layers are just overlapped, and that this layer is so, you know, it's the dialed down energy. As you elevate your own frequency to be able to match those frequencies, how that changes you is really profound too. And what you draw when you're in that state, and the things you interact with, the concepts that, like, wow, why didn't I think about that when I was in my meat sack? you know,
yeah, sorry, go on.
Oh, go ahead.
It's like when you're making the comments you're making, Brian, it's like you're forming sentences, or the frequencies and the light what you are speaking with is expansive, because when you form your sentences, it's like, okay, we can open that one sentence of what Brian's saying at the minute and just go on that, you know, walk on a tangent. There's so much packed in to what you're saying, which is hidden behind in its inner layers, if you like.
It is.
You know, and I think this is where it becomes exciting, because when we start to understand the hidden layers behind, not just behind speech and language, but in those internal aspects, that's where we're touching the cosmos.
That's true. And, you know, everything that's outside that seems like the big universe is really just a point in the center of us anyway. You know, it's all happening in here.
I agree, totally. We are the center point of light itself.
And when you ride down in meditation to blank space and you turn all of that off, you step outside the matrix, you step outside the construct. And when you come back, you can choose where you want to go, what you want to see. It's like it opens up all of those levels to you. And wow, that's my riches. That's my big bank account. That's my trillionaire, man. Like being able to explore those spaces and like blow my brain like on a nightly basis, you know. It doesn't get any richer than that for me, you know.
That's right. I totally agree. Totally agree, Brian. It's entering into those, let's call it whatever we call them, it doesn't matter what we call them, subtle vibrations, doesn't matter, very subtle vibrations, into that altered state and connect with commonly known as the whole, but it's too loose a word. There's so much in the whole. There's so many experiences, what we can sense and feel and realize, and have those realizations of those worlds and energies, what exist in the space within and around us on a cosmic scale.
Right.
You know, we were talking last night. Forget all limits, no limitations. Hi, Denise. She's in England. Thanks for joining us. Brilliant stuff. So as we're looking at this change, and we know we've got this expansion of consciousness, as we've got, I mean, in the end, we're just going to start laughing our heads off about consciousness, aren't we? You know, it's just been discovered, and now we're kind of moving beyond it. We want to get rid of it because it's boring us. You know, this sort of thing. It's like, okay, what's beyond consciousness? Okay. And we start looking at that, but we use the titles and the ways, don't we? You know, the universe has asked me to do this. The universe wants me to do that. And we're using all this terminology, even in mediumship and psychic aspects. But mediumship as an example, I always think, okay, as maybe we should ask what frequency we're attuned to when we're doing mediumship. Yeah, because we know mediumship, what we can attune to is of a multidimensional nature. You know, we can connect with cosmic beings, spiritual guides, and, you know, family and friends and loved ones. But the interesting part for me is when we do that, what frequency in the vastness are we actually attuning to? and width in order to get to that, in order to channel that stream, if you like. And just quickly on one point, what I wanted, you said something else, Brian, which is interesting, and I absolutely love it. I think part of the essence of the journey is to allow the stream of consciousness or stream of wavelengths and frequencies just to freely flow through us without any control, without any grasping, in every moment we possibly can. I don't hold on to anything. It's not my nature to hold on to. After the experience I had, there's not really much what attracts me anyway, to be honest. On the planet, it's like, okay, it's beautiful.
Yeah. Like every time I come back, I'm like, oh man, I'm sober already. Okay.
Exactly. Yeah. He's like, well, would you like a nice yacht in the harbour in the sunshine? No, don't do anything for me. I could probably go sit in there and have a coffee and a cigarette on it, but they won't let me have a cigarette on a nice yacht, because probably ban smoking on there. So that's out the window. Do I want, a Maybach car and all that? No, none of it. It's like and I think this is the point we're getting to with the awakening and the shift. We're losing that sense of grasping of those dense forms of matter, and our understanding of them forms of matter are now being revealed as illusions and not reality itself. It's like we know reality is according to the perception of the individual. So when we look at the world, 6 billion people supposedly, maybe there's still only 3 billion, and they're lying to us. Well, hey, it doesn't matter.
It's a lot.
It's a lot. There's a lot of souls, and each one of them is vibrating at a certain point of resonance and frequencies, and therefore perceiving the truth and the reality as they perceive it. How wonderful is this? The majestic being of light emanating and just exuding this beauty. Phenomenal stuff. I was just about to start, going off on a tangent there. I'll just stop myself, or somebody just stop me, Brian. So Terry Bona Cassio. Hello, Terry. Thanks for joining us. And Dr. Priya Ratney. Hello, I'm from India. Should I repose the question again? Sorry, yeah. Thanks for joining us, everybody. Anybody else? If you've got any questions, please put them in. Bentley, ZV. Yes, I wanted to know, I delivered a baby in March in India. Should I stay in India or move back to the Netherlands? Thanks. Well, we're not actually, sorry, Dr. Priya Ratner. We're not actually giving messages on this platform tonight, but, if Brian's got anything he would like to say to you, then, go ahead, Brian.
It's kind of not in that mode, but here, let me think for a second. I'm gonna pull a card real quick.
Yeah.
Concentrate, please. Focus.
Just going to say, hello, hi, Kels, Garrick from New Zealand. Nice to meet you. Thanks for joining us, Kels. Kels, like that. Irene Carter from Canada. Hi, Irene. Terry, can't wait to see my son.
All right, let me pull this up real quick. Give me just 2 seconds. All right, I pulled a card out of my angel deck. It's number 65, the angel of fountain of wisdom. And I'm going to read you that. I channeled these and did automatic writing on all of these readings. So as much as I want to memorize them and give them out, like on my own interpretation, I made a deal with the angels. So like, just read them the way they sent them. So I'm honoring that. Hang on one second. I spill into it like anyway, though. All right. Let's see here. Yeah.
Just going to say hello to Presh as well. Presh Pandy. Hi, Presh Pandy. Thanks for joining us. Yeah, go on, Brian.
Okay. All right. Here's the message, the angel message from this, and I'll have like kind of more of a direct answer. Your belief system is your connection to your mental foundation. It is from there you take amazing leaps of consciousness, then return to regroup and renew. You have wit and cunning and the ability to create plans and strategies. And when the odds seem against you, that's when you are at your best. You will seek creative ways to disarm the enemy. You see things clearly and think ahead. Your attention to detail and preparedness heads off potential pitfalls. Yeah. So you can go either way. You can go either way, any way you want to go, go. Like there's no predetermined, here's this is going to be better for you or not. You'll make whatever place you go to really excellent. Do something daring that proves your bravery, speed, and cunning. Always have plan B, C, D, E. Plan your moves in advance and for later action. You are perfecting your mastery and wisdom. You grow and gain insight as you learn to control your power, emotions, and intuition. The Netherlands will probably be more of a little struggle, but they're like, I don't get that there's like either one of those are heavily weighted. Any, what do you think, Colin?
Well, I absolutely love what you. Yeah, I absolutely love what you've just said. So hopefully that will help Dr. Priya. Hi, Vivian. Vivian joined us. Aloha.
Vivian.
Vivian from Hawaii. And thanks for joining us, Vivian. And Caitlin Monaghan from Canada. Hi, Caitlin. There's Presh. Hi, Presh. Thanks for joining us.
Hey, Presh.
And Christy Wilson. Hi, Christy. Everybody's jumping on now. Brilliant stuff. Okay, sorry, because I'd like to go back to Annie's. Annie shared something what I think is very precious. So I'd like to go back to Annie. Oh, they are true. Two nights ago, I got a gift. Let's see. It's all right. We'll wait and bring it up. There we go. Do you want to read that, Brian?
Oh, they are true. 2 nights ago, I got a gift. I was laying in bed and heard clear as day Marianne say, I love you, Arnie. That was truly a gift from the other realms, dimensions. That is always a gift, man. Nothing like that.
Yeah, Annie, I don't know what to say. Thank you so much. First off, thank you for sharing this with us. That's like a moment what lives inside you forever. I consider these, and the word here for me is precious. I just believe these are exceptionally precious moments. So just embrace it all, Annie. You don't need me to say anything, Annie.
Yeah, celebrate that, man. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for sharing it, Annie. Great stuff. We've got a question further down. I'll just see if I can find it again. Hello, Colin and Brian. Francis B. Francis, hello, Francis. She's managed to get on wherever you are. Lovely to have you with us, Francis. So, hello, Colin and Brian. I am Leora. May I ask for any energetic insights as to my purpose, path, and timeline coming up? Thank you. To your purpose, path, and timeline. Wow.
That's a big one.
Pardon?
Yeah. Yeah, here. Let's see. Number 20, the angel of redemption.
Oh, okay. YouTube just, yeah.
This is the card that I was telling you about before the show that I blew up the power in my house. So I'm drawing it back in. Okay, here's your message. Control your emotions. You let your empathy run away with you at times until you are lost in each other's feelings. You can forget whose feelings are whose. You want to take on healing everyone you meet. Conflicts and intense misunderstandings can throw your relationships out of balance. If your ego demands that it is right and digs in, making you brittle and inflexible, no good outcome can come about. If you are too possessive or too demanding in a relationship, your own pride can destroy that love. The protection of your ego, wow, man, this is huge, because your ego, yeah. The protection of your ego is an illusion and not worth the price you have to pay. Everything cannot be perfect all the time, and an all or nothing attitude will deprive you of what you really need, especially in the moment. Try not to repress your emotions, but to learn experience and to let them flow through you, not to let go. The mantra of the moment, let it go. Learn to emotionally resurrect and recharge yourself. You are capable of experiencing great joy even in the direst of times. The tarot card that goes with this is the Two of Cups. And the Two of Cups is a really kind of glorious card because it comes after the Ace, which is about like finding a place in you after you've been shut down, that you're open to love again. And then the Two of Cups comes along, and it's that moment where you find a new spark. That could be a relationship, but it also can be with spirit. It could be a new job. It could be something you really have been wanting to do for a long time. And, it's that moment where ready for love. And you're walking down a bar, you go, or the street, and you walk into a bar and sit down and have some coffee, and you look across the bar and like, boom, like the eyes, you like lock eyes with somebody, and there's just that instant electricity. There's a really great vibrational potential right now for that to happen for you. So keep your eyes open and be open and let go. Yeah. That's it.
Wow. Do you know what? This is so strange. Because I've got some cards in the process. And while you were speaking, I got drawn to, I was like, okay, I wasn't expecting this tonight.
I wasn't. Hey, we go with the flow.
throw a curveball, don't they? And I thought, hang on, let me see if I can quickly bring my cards up in the background. But at the minute I can't, so I'll try again in a minute. Absolutely. Brian, did you say you channeled the information on each one of those cards?
My cards are working with a system of angels called the Shem HaMephorash, the 72 angels of the names of God. And while they are specific angels, the thing I like about that system is that there's 72 specific aspects of the source. So when you're dealing with those angels, you're actually dealing with the source. So I worked with them for many, many, many years. I think it was about 30 years. And I'd already done the tarot deck, and I got really called to do an angel deck as well. So I channeled them during the day, and I made them with each of the images are done with incense smoke. Like this really beautiful copal that I charged up with what I knew about the angel already, lit it up, smoke's out there. I do it during the day because I use the sun to backlight the smoke and really light it up. And would just start shooting until my solar plexus exploded, and I knew I had it. And then that night, I channeled, actually I invoked the angels. Normally I never do invocation. I don't take anything inside me, but I've been working with these spirits for so long, and there's just a purity to them that is just overwhelming to me. So I decided to let go, and I did automatic writing on all of these readings. Right. And a couple of them, I didn't even really realize I'd written that the night before. It was really pure communication. Yeah, and I did that 72 days in a row. That was craziest initiation I've ever taken ever, and continues to be. And them in my life has made my life so rich. I can't even begin to tell you.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, they're with me all the time. They hang out on the show. They're sickly human.
Present. Just present the whole time. They're amazing.
Yeah.
And Brian, even Annie says yes. And those cards are amazing. I love the set I have, Brian.
Oh, awesome, Marnie. I'm glad you're enjoying them, man.
Yeah.
That's really fun with both the Angel deck and those decks were kind of built to go together. Like
Yeah.
that. Yeah. And somebody ordered a deck the other day and said, "Oh yeah, I was in Vienna and there was this card reader using your deck." And like Vienna, awesome.
Wow.
You know? Like knowing those have gone all over the world and people are actually using them. Like I've been an artist and a creative person advertising.
Yeah.
Like I've made thousands and thousands of things, but like none of those are all just like go by.
I'd like to,
but the decks
I'd like to know
for a while. Yeah. No, that's kind of
yeah.
cool.
Sorry, I'd like to know that is Brian in Vienna because we're quite close to Vienna. In fact, we're in Vienna on Friday night. I've got a demonstration at one of the places, one of the location over in Vienna on Friday night. I have
a really great friend there. I'll have to send you a name. You would enjoy him very much. My friend Rafi.
Yeah, please do. I was just looking at the reading, what Leola, I think it was, who you read for. She says, "Wow, Brian, that's absolutely what I was experiencing. I had been, hang on, it's stripped, sorry. Oh, it's there. Sorry, my eyes went funny. I had been wanting to just love again, be around animals, new love and make art, but I've been too pissed at people to let go." Laugh my, yeah.
Let it go, baby.
Yeah.
Piece of that tension and that and the amount of energy that becomes available to you now to like do what you really want to do. You know, that's one of the things we, really super simply, we go back to like, we are creating our own universe right this second. And what you're putting out, you're pissed off at people. There's going to be a lot more people to show up to piss you off.
Yeah.
It's just the way, it's just the nature of the laws of energy, of projection and reflection and magnetism and frequency. And like, there's no other way for it to happen, and when you realize how much energy you poured into being offended and pissed and, that energy consumes, that's fire. That energy consumes your energy, and when you like convert that to love and you release all of that, because it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Even an iota, it doesn't matter, man. And 5 years from now, you're not going to care. And when you like replace that frequency with love and you're creating this scenario of what you want, that's another one of my big mantras right now. Think about what you want, not what you hate, not what pisses you off, not what you don't like. Think about what you want, the thing you don't like winds up being bright and energetic and you like that, and I think human nature is kind of a little bit about latching on to that, and chewing on that circle thinking. But when you like really realize what's going on and you let go of that and start going, well, what do I want? Even in arguments, that works, right? You and I are going at it and we're just rehashing and rehashing and rehashing. Well, wait a minute. What do we want as an outcome to this? Do we want to talk? Do we want to this? Or do we want to like, and let's just get to that instead of the reasons for my anger. Yeah.
The absolute brilliant point. I just totally agree. It works back to the original point, isn't it? When we're not letting go, the one person what's suffering is not the external. Where the suffering is taking place inside of us. So it's like, just get rid of it. Just go. Jennifer's here. Hi, Jennifer. Hi, Jennifer. Pop it in, say hello and give her all my. We love you, sir. We love you, Jennifer. Thanks for joining us.
One of my favorite.
It looks like we was delayed. Yes, I think. Well, we all love Jennifer, don't we? The shining light. Evelyn, Jennifer, thank you so much for joining us. We've got Jennifer coming up in, I think it's a couple of weeks' time, on the Cosmic Lounge. So I just want to kind of keep going as we go with the flow at the minute. It's all right, Brian. Margot McKay has put, Margaret, hi Margaret, she's here. Everybody's, what's going on, guys? Why are you all jumping on now?
Yeah, so, the end of the show.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you for channeling. Right, Margot McKay. Last week I found a coin in the inside seam of my trousers after I'd used my deceased friend's toilet. Well, that sounds ominous for a start. After I used my deceased friend's toilet, my friend used to collect that particular coin for me. Wow, I was very confused as to how it got there. It wasn't until meditation before sleep that I twigged it was her. Then I heard her voice say, "At last you've twigged, you silly moo." Margot, thank you so much.
Great story. Yeah.
Let's have a look at some more if we can. I would love to hear from her. Linda, please have a message. Rose Sullivan, are they going to be positive? Rose Sullivan, are they going to be positive changes in my life in general, but also my spirit work? And then we've got Lynette. Can I get a reading? Let's have a look. I love a message. Okay, Linda Owen, can I have a message, please? Feeling down today, 1 minute, I'm okay. Next I'm down, I lost my best friend and my rock. October, called my mum. Linda, so sorry to hear for that. Well, clearly your mum's around you and inspiring you to come on here and kind of communicate with us.
Here, hold on. I got something for Linda. Let me.
Go for it. Yeah.
Linda, get focused. Take a deep breath and bring it down. Words of wisdom for my friend Linda. Words of wisdom for my friend Linda. Words of wisdom for my friend Linda. You're feeling down? This is the antidote for you. This is the best card in the whole deck. This is number 27, the Angel of the Expiation of Light. Oh man, and when I read this to you, you're just gonna fall over. Maybe not literally, but figuratively. All right, here, hold on. Let me get there. Come on. Too far. Sorry, I'm taking forever.
No, it's okay. It's okay. I'm just going to
stop after the first three words, right? Victory, victory, victory. Keep the faith. The news you've been waiting for is coming, and you can win all of your hopes and dreams. Don't give up. Man, I'm so happy that it said that, because that was the feeling I was. That's the reason I wanted to do this for you. And I can't believe they pulled that. Well, I can't believe it. What am I saying? Don't keep trying. You will succeed. Believe in yourself. Know that you have been given the skill and opportunity to realize your hopes and dreams for the future. Relax and concentrate on the task at hand. You will succeed. You will know victory over the will over the physical world, the ability to change the course of destiny and thoughts. Success comes from gathering an excellent team to work together. You have the ability to persuade, influence, and counsel, and from your struggle to develop your ideas, there will emerge a dominant theme. Not everyone or everything is trustworthy. Use your intuition. You will feel when something is not right and the red light goes on. Make sure you trust that. Shift your emphasis from your problems to your joys. I know from personal experience that can save your life. From despair to joy. And if you can't make it in one step, how about despair to gratitude? And from gratitude, then you get to joy. Shift your emphasis from your problems to your joys. See your victory. Assume it's already done. Your optimism will produce the very success it desires and expects. So feel better.
Brian, absolutely beautiful. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. So, guys, we're gonna throw something out here. Are we okay for time for 5-10 minutes, Brian?
I'm good to go. Yeah.
Brilliant. Then let's just ride this wave while it's in. Then, so I just want to ask everybody if you want, because I've got something in the background here, and I want to ask everybody to just put a number up in the chat, whoever's in the chat, between 6 and, let's have a look where we are, between 6 and 42. So
the answer to all things.
6 and 42, Danny. Yes, let's have a look. Because I've got some cards in the background. Now, normally I say to people, when we first started doing the Zoom meetings and we was doing all the circles and people started asking about reading cards and tarot and angel cards, I actually used to say to them, look, we're teaching mediumship here, communicating with spirit. So the best thing what you can do with your cards is use them to light your fire with and connect your mind to spirit, and you'll be okay. It's like, so I took a bit of a battering for it constantly. Anyway, but I've got some cards in the background which what got inspired. Wow, look at the numbers coming here. So I'm going to pick a couple of numbers and let's see. I'm going to go with Francis, 37. Let's see what this comes. This is going to be very short because these cards are I'm not going to show them online, but let me just come to it, because basically we've got cards what represent the A to Z book, which I've written, and we've got letting go cards and ether cards. Okay, but the one I'm taking it from at the moment is not the letting go or ether, is the A to Z. So I think she said 37, did she?
Yeah.
Okay, let's look. Yeah. 37. Oh, okay then. So Francis, very quickly, straight away, I'm being drawn to sitting in the power card. And what it's saying is, now is the time to sit with spiritual energies. Okay, I'm not even going to open it up. I'm just going to leave out there. That's what I'm going to do with these quick one-off things. Sitting in the power. Sit with spiritual energies, Francis. Okay, let's have a look. Who's 25? Linda Owen. Oh, you've just been to Linda. Okay, it's there, so I'm going to go with it. Linda Owen, number 25. Just bear with me, guys. Okay, what we've got here. Oof. Linda, what I've got here is karma. In every moment, your thoughts, speech, and actions calculate karma, and it relates to cause and effect. And what's positive about this card is, please remember the amount of positive karma you have created through your previous lifetimes and brought that positive light into this lifetime, into this incarnation. So Margaret, 41 is drawn out now. Let me just I'll just do a couple more and that's it. We'll wrap it up. 41. On this one, Margaret, it is, let's look. And something tells me she's picked 41 for a reason as well. I'm going to have, bear with me. Upliftment. I've got to go with upliftment. In fact, do you know what, Margaret, I'm going to do too? I'm going to say upliftment and vibration change. So upliftment, raise yourself up and be the strength for others to do the same. So anybody what's on their spiritual path, but in this case, Margaret, raise yourself up to be the strength. And I know Margaret is a strength for a lot of others actually, so I know that would probably fit. And the other one, vibration changes, adapt to change. Enter the stillness within. Oof, okay, I don't know where this one came from. Enter the stillness within during this eon, and you will overcome. And it finishes like that. So last one, sorry, let's have a look. I think, oh, hang on, I've got two. I've got Kells and Kara, right, 36 and 22. Let's have a look. 36, 22. And this, just fire them off. 36 is Reincarnation. Whoever put 30, did I say 36? Yeah, reincarnation. Ask yourself, are some reincarnations your spiritual guides here and now? Oh, now there's a mystery for you to unsolve, to reveal. And the last one is going to go to, that was 36. That was yours, Kel. The last one is 22, Kira, Jade. Kira, let's all look. What was it, 32? 22, sorry. Let's have a look, 22. Okay, Kira, I've got to say to you, this card is singular on its own, and it's simply saying God, okay? And it's saying, let your God be what it is to you, as others is what it is to them. So this is about reading your own game, Kira, okay? Walking your own path, not being involved in anybody else's. I want to straight away on a low frequency say to you, dismiss and reject all dramas around you and move away from them and step into your light with your God and allow everybody else to be who they are. So this is about allowing. It's not just about God itself. Anyway, that's it. I'm not doing no more. I just want to. And that's the first time I've used them. Brian, that's the first time I've used them. They're not even produced yet. They're not, ready.
It doesn't matter what the instrument of the oracle is, as long as you're plugged in and connected to your higher self. Like that's where the language is happening. Like, I've made oracles out of crayons and rocks and like all kinds of stuff that has absolutely nothing to do with anything traditionally oracle. But once you teach yourself and decide on what those meanings mean, so like you bust out anything, man. You go throw some bottle caps.
Exactly, yeah. So everybody, thank you so much for joining us. Brian, any final things you'd like to share or say?
Just keep remembering that you're making your reality every second. And if you want something in your life, like construct that. Don't think about the things in your life that suck or that you would like to change unless you're making the change to that new thing. Don't like stick on like the things that are negative for you, and just understand that you are a spark of the actual source, the infinite ultimate creator, and that you have that ability to create in any way you want, any time you want, and take responsibility for what's happening in your world. And it's not about what's outside happening. It's about the light inside and how brightly you let that shine. And that will reflect back on bringing people to you that reflect that and situations that reflect that. I think, I'll shut up. Long-winded.
No, it's fine. No. Take as long as you wish, Brian. Honestly.
Those, no, that's a good place to stop. I'll stop.
Yeah. Tell us about what you've got. You've got, when's the next Be in the Light podcast?
Be in the Light happens every Monday night at 7:30 on YouTube Eastern Standard Time. And as part of the Sacred Spiral Network shows, really great people. Jennifer has a show right after mine called The Love Show, really super awesome. And, I have to give her a plug, man. She's like, she works hard, man. She like, one of my first meetings with her, she had a quote about, oh man, show up and do the fucking work. Well, I don't know anybody that exemplifies that more than she does. And her Embracing Infinity show, just really great. I met you, like a bunch of people through that connection, and super good. So Be in the Light comes up every Monday. It's a practice show. We get like real practice in meditations, energy work. Last night we did a massive grounding technique that's like jam up. So come and play with us and practice. The last part of the show I do some readings, but like it's a good place to come and get a place where you can actually do some energy work live. And yeah, I think that would be a really. I'd love to see you guys there.
Yeah, please join Brian. I was actually on the, well, I was going to say last night. It wasn't. It was about 3 o'clock in the morning here, and my eyes were closing, and I was trying my hardest to stay awake, just watching and listen. Was that when you went through the layers, three layers, and I'm like,
Yeah,
okay, this is not this good.
4 bands, yeah.
4 bands.
Yeah.
And I thought, but I managed to stay to the end, so I did get to bed after 3. So it's like, okay, I'm trying not to be up. It's only you guys in America what keep me up in the morning till 3. And it's like,
well, that's
Colin,
thank you.
Oh, and I'm the same. I absolutely love Jennifer Rose. She's absolutely amazing. I support what you've just said, 100%, Brian. She's bringing the world together. With Kelly Brickle, Michael Zinn, Michael Christopher, everybody, Lynn Juno.
That whole Sacred Spiral collective.
Yeah,
pretty.
It's amazing. I was with Sori. I was on with Shiori Sora the other day. That was brilliant. I absolutely loved it. She's got amazing energy, Sora. So all you guys, but Jennifer, she's a walking angel, isn't she? Tiny, hi Tiny, lovely to have you with us. Carol Johnson, everybody. We are coming to a close. How can people find you, Brian? Wizard of Odd?
You can find me on my website, wizardofodd.com, and that's wizard with a Y. And I do a lot of stuff on Facebook on BRYAN LAHR Light Painting. So either one of those places is a pretty good place to get us.
Yeah, brilliant. Thank you so much. I just want to say to Crystal Lepiche, because I know somebody's walking with you, Crystal. They're making me very strongly aware when you came on earlier, Spirit kind of stepped in quite close. So I know at this time there's things going on around you, but I want you to embrace the change, okay? And keep smiling, and keep things as light as you can. But I don't want to open it up any further than that. Anyway, thank you to Brian. I just want to let everybody know, tomorrow night on Menorca Consciousness Group, we've got a workshop. It's on spirals. It's a spiral reality, 2 hours. It's on Zoom. It's not live. It's I'll be doing a PowerPoint presentation, spiral meditation, and there'll be a discussion. We'll be looking at the nature of reality and how we are influenced by spiral energies. And I'm really looking forward to it. And later on, just a couple of other ones we've got. We've got a new mediumship course starting 2 weeks' time. That's open to everybody. If anybody wants to check that out, you're welcome to join us. We'll be looking at the beginning. We're going to go through the foundational aspects upwards, up into the intermediate stages. So anybody who thinks the beginner or at the intermediate stage and you want to refine everything, then you're welcome to book onto that course. We've also got a one-day workshop. Again, my arm gets twisted. Next live readings with Veronica online, live second. Thank you, Veronica. She joined us. Thank you for letting us to jump onto your site, online live psychic readers. Please, everybody, check out Veronica Jenkins. She's been doing amazing stuff since, the last 6 years at least, if not, behind the scenes for a long time, spiritually speaking. Yeah, we've got a workshop. Again, we've got our hand twisted because instead of having it 11 till 4 in the UK, we put it later so the guys over your side of the pond can jump on. So it'll be 3 till 8. So in the morning, you can, if you want to jump on that one, you can do. That's Journey to the Light of the Soul. But a precious one, which is coming up in a couple of weeks, and I really need to mention this because it's a unique process. It's really transformational if the individual puts it into practice and play. We've got a letting go workshop. It's a 2-hour workshop. It's on an evening in the UK, so everybody can make it. It's one what Spirit showed me, and I've experienced it, and I use it, and it really clears and transforms literally anything you wish to let go of. But it's a process. It's very delicate. It's very simple. And and I don't often, this is the first time I put it on as a 2-hour workshop. It's very rare I do it. I've written a book on it also, which is about to go out there. So if anybody wants to jump on that, if you've got anything you want to let go of, come and try this method. It's one of the best methods to do if you're in the mind that you want to let go. If, like we were talking earlier, sometimes you can forget about letting go because it can give you an headache thinking about it. You know, so, you know, I've just promoted my stuff and just kicked into touch at the same time. So, hey, it's up to you guys. Brian, to everybody, thank you so much. Thank you to Spirit for bringing us all together and the light what's been shining in here. Brian, I just think you're absolutely amazing and I really, really appreciate it. I want to say thank you to Ava, who behind the scenes has been tapping and typing and God knows what with all the banners and chats and all that. So thank you so much. Jennifer Rose, we're going to see you soon. Not tomorrow night, the following night, we've got the lovely, beautiful Lynn Juno. And we're going to have a live on Cosmic Lounge talking to Lynn as well. So much going on. So, Brian, final word to you, Brian.
Oh, just be your own light and just light up the world and see where it goes.
And on that note, folks, Raven's just turned up. Hi, Raven. Lovely to have it. On that note, Brian, appreciate it deeply.
Thank you very much, everybody that shared space with us today. Really, really appreciate it.
Yeah.
Pleasure. And Colin, thank you very much.
Yeah. Would love to have you back and continue this lot, Brian.
Anytime. Yeah. Let's talk about the aura next time.
The aura.
Structure of the aura. Yeah.
I like this one. Okay, guys, that's the title for the next one. We're going to be discussing the auric field. Yes.
Yes.
I like this one. Thank you so much.
You guys,
bye, everybody.
All right. We'll talk to you soon. Thanks again.
Yeah. See you all very soon. Bye-bye.